Combs has been denied bail in connection with the sexual abuse and sex trafficking charges he faces. And as Les Trott reports, the music mogul who once traveled by private jet to all those mansions is now in a jail that is notorious for its bad living conditions.
Music mogul Sean Diddy Combs spent his first night behind bars inside a facility that is being called Hell on Earth. The Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn is notorious for its appalling living conditions and rampant violence. How bad is it inside this federal lockup? There have been 2 murders, 4 suicides, and numerous stabbings and lockdowns in recent years. It's so out of control inside that 4 federal judges are reportedly refusing to send any more prisoners here. Donald Trump's former fixer, Michael Cohen, spent a harrowing year in federal custody. He says for someone used to a life of luxury like Diddy, prison life is a severe shock.
You have a desk, you have a plastic chair, you have your bed with a 1.5-inch mattress, no pillow, and you also have a locker. So you basically have 3 feet by 5 feet to move around. So you have a basic 15 square feet. It is a horrible, horrible place.
Diddy's lawyers were so eager to keep him out of jail, they offered his palatial $48 million home in Miami Beach and his private jets as bail. Today, they are even offering to restrict female visitors to his homes, except for his mother, daughters, and the mothers of his children if he is released. They told the judge the jail he was being sent to is dreadful, dirty, inhuman, and an ongoing tragedy.
How's your dad doing? How's your dad doing?
Family members appeared somber as they arrived at federal court in Manhattan today in another attempt to get out on bail. The judge cited Diddy's history of violent temper and potential intimidation of witnesses as reasons for keeping him behind bars. Diddy's former protege, singer Aubrey O'Day, is celebrating Diddy's downfall today. I feel validated, a win for women all over the world.
Combs has pled not guilty. Those were the only words he uttered in court yesterday.
Well, hello there, partner. Go on and hang up your hat, grab yourself a whiskey, and pull up in the easy chair. We're coming off the range of 9 to 5s with a whole herd of news stories that we've been steaming over like a cow patty in the Texas heat. As they say, the chickens are finally coming home to roost. And we're here to ruffle some feathers and ensure accountability ain't just a concept, it's reality. It's that time where the day's drama casts its longest shadow. So let's light a candle to the chaos of current events, the whirlwind of politics, and the tangled webs of corruption that we find ourselves entwined by. It's time to ramble our way into the twilight. Welcome to Sunset Rants.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Sunset Rants, where we catch you up with the breaking news, headlines, and posts to get you caught up at sunset. I'm AK, your favorite guy. We've got a lot of stories to go over. We got my producer Treebeard in the house from across the pond. What's going on, my man? Doing good, doing good. All right. We also got the Fluff Master, Fluffy Hobo, in the house from last Friday. How you doing?
I am sober compared to last time, so I'm doing great.
Yeah. If you guys didn't know, he mistaken his water bottle for Everclear. That was a very interesting moment.
That was terrible. That was horrible, and I apologize profusely. This time it's orange juice.
Just orange juice? That's it?
For the kids, it's just orange juice. It's daddy juice. It's daddy's juice is what it is.
Daddy. That's right. All right. Well, you guys can find me on X, the real Roma _8K, and join our Discord that is now open to the public. This is where you can chat with your hosts or send us news and articles that you want to hear on this show. Now, anyone that subscribes to my Rumble or YouTube channel will get instant gold status, where you can enjoy our chats where you never know who you'll bump into. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe and help your host take this show to the next level. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into our first story here. So this is, again, an update on the Kentucky shooter. Let's take a listen.
Welcome back, and thanks for joining us here at Live Now from Fox. I'm your host, Carla Hada. I want to get to some breaking news. We are now getting an update from investigators down on the scene in Kentucky regarding a shooting that happened on Interstate 75 Saturday evening. Here is the update happening now, live.
We ain't found shit.
There you go. All right, it's the same. It's the same as last week.
I love that thing.
You know. Oh, I know. Thank you, Uncapped Turtle, for this this beautiful gem. Now let's actually get into a real story, and this is from the Al Jazeera. 9 killed, 2,700 wounded across Lebanon's Hezbollah pagers explode. All right, so at least 9 people were killed, about 2,700 were wounded by exploding handheld pagers across Lebanon, the country's health minister had said. Who's that? Faraz Abiad? I'm so bad at Middle Eastern names. Said that the 8-year-old girl was among those killed, and more than 200 people are in critical condition after a communication device exploded on Tuesday, with injuries mostly reported to the face, hands, and stomach. Yeah, this is like a new level of warfare. Like, what do you guys think?
First off, who the hell uses a pager anymore? That's my first question.
Could you imagine? Like that's the thing. I guess if you really think about it, over there are certain communities that haven't caught up with the times. But if you look at just how they how they operate, if you look at some of the more radical groups that are over there, they're basically living in the 10th century, with just modern weapons.
Yeah, it's interesting the fact that they sorry, I can't hear Tribeard. I don't know if he's talking or not.
You speaking, bro? No, we can't hear you. You can jump off for a second.
He broke it. He broke the system.
He literally broke it.
They're not sending the greatest and finest, folks.
We just started the show. Like, what the hell, man?
But the fact that they're using pagers and the fact that they got away with the fact of they were able to put explosives in it and ship it out, that was kind of an interesting marvel. It makes you wonder who had a favor that got paid in to get that to happen.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And this is, so when Americans are talking about, this, when they say collateral damage and stuff that's going over there with all the protests and stuff, I believe this is what they're talking about. Mm-hmm. Where you're not actually going after anyone specific, but you're just trying to create as much broad damage as possible, which obviously you wouldn't accept in the Western world. But who knows? We got first world problems over here.
There is one thing that kind of, I don't know if I'm just cherry picking or if I got this completely back asswards. I remember hearing back in the 1980s, they brought a treaty out for what they call conventional weaponry. There's certain, they basically said there's certain weapons that you can and cannot use, that sort of thing. Right. One of the things that came up was when you're creating explosives or any kind of landmines or whatever, you couldn't use shrapnel that was designed that it couldn't be detected by medical equipment. So if you're using, you had to use metal so it could be detected and then removed if the person was injured but not killed. So one of the things by that stage they basically banned the use of plastic shrapnel because plastic you can't detect that with X-rays, right? So that is also okay. So but that's why I think it's so hanging. If the Israelis were able to get access to these pagers and actively put explosives in them, does that count then as an unconventional weapon of war because there is plastic shrapnel technically within the pager and they knew about that?
I'll take this one. So it's called a Geneva Suggestion when it comes to ideological warfare.
Knuckles, is that you?
Like that.
Did you bring your child soldiers?
I will commit terrible war crimes.
or in the words of the Pirates of the Caribbean, they're more like guidelines and rules.
Come my child
Yeah.
soldiers.
Well, I'm just saying, like, Israel. Like, I'm just saying because, like, Israel, the IDF claim to be the most, like, more moralistic, or what they call themselves the most morally justified, like, army in the world, like some weird thing like that. Yeah,
It's a
exactly.
suggestive term, is what
Like,
it is.
Dr. Evil, like,
Suggestive.
morally
Yeah.
superior.
Yeah, well,
Well, I don't know.
welcome,
That's the game.
welcome
I'm
to,
like, technically,
welcome
I'm
to-
just wondering. Technically, they should be. I'm just wondering, like, technically, could they hold, like, Israel's like, yeah, you technically committed a war crime by, like, actively creating plastic shrapnel.
yeah,
That's
like I
that
was
was my
saying,
first thought. Whether I got to ask backwards, I don't know.
yeah, welcome to the new era.
So-
Anyways,
No, do you remember back in 2020 when people used to say, "Oh, bots are blowing up my phone now"? 2030,
Yeah.
that's gonna have a whole different meaning.
I mean, the other aspect of it is like, so microplastics will kill you. Quite literally now.
oh my goodness. All right, so let's go to Reuters. Hezbollah devices explode again in Lebanon, raising fears of wider Israel conflict. So in Beirut, handheld radios used to arm group Hezbollah detonated on Wednesday across Lebanon south in the country's deadliest day since cross-border fighting erupted between the militants and Israel nearly a year ago, stoking tensions after similar explosions of the group's pagers the day before. Lebanon's health ministry said 20 people were killed, more than 450 were injured on Wednesday in Beirut suburbs and the Bekaa Valley, where the death toll from Tuesday explosions rose to 12, including 2 children and nearly 3,000 injured. Israeli officials said it not commented on the blast, but security sources says that Israel's spy agency Mossad is responsible for one of Hezbollah's officials said and the episode was the biggest security breach in the group's history. Like, this is like, should I hide?
Yeah,
my
Israel has
phone?
now crossed a line. Like, there's no coming back from this. Like, they've completely changed the game now.
Well, it's not even just that, but like, how many other devices have they put this in? Like,
Yeah, like,
who's going
like,
to know
imagine,
that? Like, what happens if tomorrow here in America, 50,000 people just burst into flames? Like, then who's going to be responsible for that? Like,
The worst
who's
part is
telling
a
me
lot
I
of-
should
no,
go shoot my toaster?
Yeah,
Like,
yes, exactly.
just to
not
be
Transformers, bro?
sure.
But, like,
I laugh.
here's the part that
we
terrifies
laugh.
me. Most of the people who use pagers are medical staff. Like, if they target our medical, like the doctors,
Oh,
like, are
that-
you like, oh, that is like a huge problem. If we have an actual shortage of like medically trained personnel in the West, not just America, but like Ireland, England, France, like if they start
I
going after our
believe-
medical staff, we're so screwed.
I
'Cause
believe
they're already
if
there's
there
already a
was an
huge demand
attack-
from.
Right.
They're already understaffed.
I believe if there was a huge attack on the medical industry, we would see death toll rise way higher than it should have been.
Yeah.
And that's because emergency services have nowhere to take people. And for some reason, any healthy person out there, any person in the health industry can justify this. When there's an issue at the hospital, for some reason, all the EMTs go out at the same time because people are stupid and they make a lot of injuries whenever a disaster strikes, because misery loves company.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, and
Yeah.
not just that, but like, I mean, could you just imagine you're taking out the people that are actually helping the people that are hurt?
That just sounds like democracy.
That's
Crab bucket, like democracy. We're all equal. Get down here.
turn the page in a new millennia. All right, well, let's move on from that dumpster fire and let's get to our main story. Sean Diddy Combs is arrested in New York after federal indictment. How many times are we going to hear the word indictment this year? Like,
I will take 500 for 500,
Remember
Alec.
people used to have word of the day. Now it's like word of the year.
yeah,
word of the
tell me
day.
about it.
The word of the day is Diddy is innocent. I stand by this with no comments, and I will not clarify my point because I don't know.
All right, you know what? I'm gonna let you take over this story here.
All right.
See if you get
So
it.
I don't have control to bring up that article on the screen, so that's
Oh,
up to you.
all right, well, I'll just leave it right here then.
All right. So Diddy Combs, the hip hop mogul who faced a stream of allegations by women who accused him of sexual assault, was later arrested Monday in New York after he was indicted by a federal grand jury. And even though it doesn't say here, it should say, do we really trust all women because it's a celebrity? just putting it out there. We played that video earlier saying how bad the prison system was. They only ever talk about how bad the prison system is when there's a celebrity in it.
Oh, absolutely.
Just saying.
Absolutely. I mean, in Sunset Rants will go on record right now and say that Diddy did not kill himself.
Diddy did not kill himself because Diddy's still alive. But if Diddy did kill himself, Diddy did it?
Diddy did it? Did you just pick it up yourself?
I did.
Man.
I did.
Yeah, but I mean, this stuff has been going on since the early '90s. Like seriously,
Yeah.
like it's just that it's now starting to pick up steam after Epstein and after who was a director in Hollywood?
That would be what the hell? Weinstein?
Yes.
Yeah, Weinstein. Yeah, like after all of that. But the crazy part about it is like, especially in the African American community, this happens way more often than it should. But the thing is that no one bats an eye in the media, like ever.
Well, one of the biggest complainers about the judicial system and about Trump, because Trump wants to go after these people, or so his inner circle has said. If you look at Tom Hanks, whenever that statement came out, he started ramping up saying, no, we can't have Trump in office. Well, yeah, because he's got on record of going to Epstein's Island. So him and Diddy might be actually good friends. We don't know because we're still waiting on the editorial list for that.
The editorial list, like the one that they decide to give us.
Yeah. I was kind of basing it off of like the JFK assassination. We'll get it when you damn well get it. Not a moment before.
Exactly. It says here that the indictment was sealed and details of charges weren't immediately announced to prosecutors, but the U.S. attorney in Manhattan, Damian Williams, confirmed in a statement of federal agents Combs in custody. Why is it Manhattan? Why are they getting
a Democrat-owned area and it's going to be lesser charges? Because he's a black man and the system's oppressive to black people.
Oh, is that what it is?
Racist.
It's a theory. No, but we expect to unseal the indictment in the morning. We'll have more to say at the time. So I guess we're going to find out a little bit more tomorrow about that interesting statement. But I now know why my Johnson & Johnson stock has gone down, ladies and gentlemen. This is why.
Hey, that looks like my nightstand.
I'm gonna have to like block the camera now because
I can just turn the camera if you want and impress everybody.
Let's not do that. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to an Ohio immigration update. All right, so this is from Dustin Garage. Is that how you say Garage. Just a sin. Heritage's project oversight just obtained a detailed report of Springfield, Ohio residents saying that their neighbor's cat was stolen and chopped up.
I'd like to go on record and say this is fake news.
All right,
CBS reported. Fact check false.
Let's see. She thinks her neighbor stole her cat and chopped it up and have it in their backyard. She is, what's it? Advising the neighbor is a Haitian and doesn't know where they are. Come out and speak to her. Refer this. Yeah, so this is going to get out of control real quick.
It's been out of control for the last year and a half.
At least.
Yeah.
At least the last year and a half. Because there actually were testimony that happened, in the commission meeting, the city's Springfield commission meeting. Actually, this was, I believe, 8 months ago. No, 7 months ago. But still, they've known about this since then. So let's take a listen.
Laws and culture is 180 degrees different of what they're used to. And one of the things that I heard that bothered me very much, I've actually had quite a few people contact me here lately, is some pretty horrid things occurring to domesticated animals in the neighborhood. We've had some stuff in the park. That again, they're being taken advantage of for reasons other than, and if You shake your head, Brian.
No. I asked. I asked me if there was proof. There is, just don't have proof of it.
I
We've heard the
have
same thing.
and people that have confided in me have asked me for anonymity. I can't give their names up.
I mean, we haven't seen the proof that you're telling me, and I've heard about it too.
Yeah, it's law.
Yeah, so they knew about this beforehand, but it's funny to mention that is because we did our own investigation in Springfield, and there's going to be some information coming out this weekend at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Romanation. So make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe to Romanation so you can get that information because it's going to be really spicy. What do you guys think?
Spoiler, we have our own field reporter now.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
I.e. Scrapjaw.
So real quick, something I noticed, the gentleman that was up there speaking, this is me maybe projecting a little bit, but he kind of, the way he held himself, he reminds me of like a youth pastor almost.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you guys got the same vibe because he was very calm, controlled, and trying to be as gentle with the subject as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is not one of these radical people that are yelling and screaming at City Hall. He was very calm and controlled, saying like, this is an issue. What are you going to do? And those are the type of people that get thrown under the rug pretty fast.
And made look like they're crazy when they're not.
Right.
Every single time, because, you look at people like Alex Jones and everybody's like, yeah, this guy's trying to go crazy, this, that, blah, blah. And now that he was right about 90% of the crap that he's been talking about, all of a sudden it's like, oh, we've got to double down. We have to like throw the media at him. We got to, charge him the GDP of France. Like, do
how long?
To be fair though, Alex Jones did not do himself any favors with the way he was delivering information.
He totally didn't.
Like even after he was proven right, I was like, okay, he's proven right, but there's a difference between being right and being tactful about it. Like,
right. I'm wondering how long until the city sues like all the news outlets for defamation for lying about what's going on when they've been reporting about it. I mean, they just proved that Alex Jones, a news company, can be sued for producing false information, alleged false information. Why can't we?
Yeah, I know it's sarcasm is under fire, but
that's
but
why
also
I
we
can't be sarcastic anymore.
I hope it better not be. Like if they outlaw sarcasm, like I can't. What am I going to do? Like that's
whoa, wait a minute. We're in post cancel culture.
My culture.
We are in post cancel culture, baby. That's what this show is about. That's what Romanation show is about. Well, that's my show.
Yes. And that's why I say gaslighting is not a thing.
Oh man, you've already seen the gaslighting.
What is gaslighting?
Gaslighting doesn't exist. Gaslighting is not real. They've been lying to you this whole time.
Gaslighting from Cringe Jean Pierre, about, oh, well, since you were talking about the threat to democracy, are you guys going to, come down? Just like, oh, I can't believe you would actually say such a thing to such distinguished Democrats like myself.
Yes, the uppity folks need their money too,
Oh, my
It'd be a damn shame if somebody lost their tax cut.
Their tax cut. Of course they would. Yeah. But
anyways, that Hunter Biden artwork so I get a tax cut.
But speaking of Jewish people, the Jewish Journal.
We were not talking about Jewish people. Don't lie to you.
Well, no. It was on the screen. Come on, bro. No.
He's gaslighting us right now.
Yep. Exclusive. Feds and state AG investigate an alleged human trafficking empire run in Springfield, Ohio for years by King George.
Question.
Uh-oh.
This statement should say FBI investigates FBI bidding.
Oh, there's going to be more of that later on in the show. Believe me.
Also, I want to know this guy's workout regimen. That dude is fit. Like, holy cow, he's got some arms.
Ooh, that shit. All right. Dispatch from Springfield, Ohio. The story in this town, not about cats or dogs. It's about mules. It's twin tragedy of migrant workers from Haiti exploited and locals from Springfield marginalized. Just about every week since 2019, First Diversity Staffing Group, Inc. has shuttled vulnerable Haitian migrants in unmarked white Ford and Chevy vans from Florida to Ohio, where they allegedly exploited for cheap labor and companies like Dole Food Company, Inc. It's a secret and sinister operation that has gone unchecked for more than 5 years. The mastermind behind this scheme lives in a $1.35 million mansion on Paulie's Plantation Court. Plantation. His name is George 10, but the underworld, his nickname is King George because of his opulent lifestyle, luxury cars, cash handouts, fast talk. For years, he's been operated in this reign of alleged exploitation open and freely in a former mansion on East High Street. So,
there's a joke here.
Uh-oh.
For one, they own companies like Dole Food Production and they live on Plantation Court. Come on. They're the DEI hires, but all I saw were white people.
Are we talking about Bob Dole? Like that
Bob
Dole?
Just Bob Dole things.
Bobby.
kind of grasping at straws here, but in Ireland, the word dole is slang for social welfare.
Oh my goodness!
Is that why their food sucks?
Probably.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, I mean, this is almost similar to what was happening out in New York City. You remember that underneath the churches and stuff?
Oh,
there's calling through the walls, and they're all speaking Yiddish. What should I do?
but this is a but this is a small town. So I'm pretty sure they're going to get all the information they need. But remember, Vivek is supposedly visiting tomorrow, so it's ought to be interesting.
I would keep an eye on Vivek's YouTube channel because he might actually go live if he sees something weird because he's not afraid to do that stuff.
Oh, I'm pretty sure of it, and he's going to be very outspoken about it.
So, absolutely.
Oh, I can't wait. He's going to call out everyone. He's going to be like, this guy over here and this farmer over here that thinks he knows everything, and But yeah. So let's move on to probably a more interesting and more important story, and this comes from old Gavin Newsom. This is from Governor Gavin Newsom. Governor Newsom signs bill to combat deepfake election content, taking action to address the use of deepfakes and other deceptive digitally generated and altered content in election campaigns. Governor Gavin Newsom today signed 3 measures to remove deceptive content from large online platforms, increasing accountability and better inform voters. So
should I delete the photos I have of Gavin Newsom with pancake nipples that I made?
Uh-oh. They're coming after you next. You already know.
Come on, Gavin. I like it rough. I hear you use chains, my favorite. I'll do anything.
And how's the comms to know that?
That's like a quadruple entendre. But anyways, moving on. Earlier today, the governor announced signing legislation to protect the digital likeness of actors and performers by ensuring that AI is not used to replicate their voice or likeness without their consent. Building on legislation signed by the governor in 2019 to crack down on deepfakes in elections, the governor today signed 3 bills related to the election advertisements and communications. AB 2655, and Assembly member Mark Berman requires large online platforms to remove or label deceptive and digitally altered or created content related to elections during specific periods and requires them to provide mechanisms to report such content. It also authorizes candidates, elected officials, election officials, the attorney general, and district attorney or city attorney to seek injunctive relief against a large online platform for non-compliance with the act. Because destroying the Second Amendment just ain't good enough for California.
The second's there in case the first don't work out. Ladies and gentlemen, the memes exist. It is our First Amendment. We got to protect the first because I don't want to ensure the second ensures the first. If that made any sense at all. I like to trip up on words sometimes.
No,
exactly where you're plan B. Like, if plan A fails, check plan B. Plan B, make sure plan A works.
Yeah, very much so. Good one.
Exactly.
Why is it the European knows more about this than Democrats?
Well, as a European, like again, people forget. Like, they keep saying, "Oh, it's a threat to." Like they actually said, the Constitution is a threat to our democracy. Like, It's a threat to it's not a threat to America. It's a threat to your democracy, like the government you're trying to implement. Because pure democracy is pure chaos. There's no rule. There's no hold barred. We're in a constitutional republic, both the U.S. and Ireland, and like we're a constitutional republic. What's a constitutional republic? It's democracy with restrictions. Like there's a whole list of basically like here's a list of things that you cannot vote on or mess with. They're just here. You have to accept them, and that's the basis for our society. Everything else you can vote on with democratic processes. So that's why they hate the Constitution, because it literally says here's the things you can't mess with. Like, oh, but those things hurt our feelings. Tough.
Politicians forget that the Constitution states we the people. They forget who they work for. That is the problem. And unfortunately, there's not enough intelligent voters that know that because of things like vote blue no matter who, or the blue dog Democrats, or even some of the rhino Republicans are out there.
But Fluffy, it rhymes, so it must be true.
Look, I identify with none of the political policies. You see this up behind me? It says, "You dare tread on the son of a shepherd." That is closest to my political ideology as you get. And that's a picture of Rolf from Ed, Ed, and Eddie on it, okay?
Nice.
Here, I'll even move that up a little bit. Look at that. That's my political ideology, right?
Done. Oh my God. I like it. I like it a lot.
Oh, wow.
So that's the first one. So the second one says AB 2839, urgent measure by Assemblymember Gail Perlin, expands the time frame which committee and other entities prohibited from knowingly distributing an advertisement or other election material containing deceptive AI-generated or manipulated content. The bill also expands on the scope of existing law prohibiting materially deceptive content of elected official and candidates, elected officials, and others, authorizing them to file a civil action to enjoy the distribution of such material. Now, with that being said, I'm going to share something, because what about real live deception? Do you want to see what that looks like? Let me show you.
I love live examples.
Not only have had the codes, but now having the classified information for Americans and being able to put that out and share it in his resort with anyone and everyone who comes through should be terrifying to all Americans, and he needs to be stopped. Having Trump not only have had the...
I'm sorry. What was that?
The only thing terrifying is that forehead.
Hold on.
That is a sniper's dream right there.
Hold on.
Thank you, Fluffy.
All right, you win this round, big boy. Oh, man.
Wow, this will be our last episode of Sunset Rants. Thank you very much, and good night. No,
that was beautiful.
Wow, I did not expect that. Of all the things to be said, right? Like, I did not think that would be the one.
Hold on. But speaking of snipers, did you not hear what she just said?
Not only have had the codes, but now having the classified information for Americans and being able to put that out and share it in his resort with anyone and everyone who comes through should be terrifying to all Americans, and he needs to be stopped. Having
needs to be what?
That was a Freudian slip right there.
It's a shot stop. It's called a new dance move. Come on, how dare you be a bigot?
Hold on. There's a reason. There is a reason why I pulled this up. Okay,
absolutely.
Because if we look at the next post, this is from. I'm about to call somebody out. This is from Ronald Keplinger. Says she overspoke. It was not her intention. Let's make it into something that it's not. It's ridiculous to think that she really wanted that. No need to be shot. She meant stopped, right? Well, I went and I responded to that post with make it into something it's not, like Russiagate, like January 6th, like very fine people on both sides, like making fun of disabled reporter, like ending the Constitution, like bloodbath, like Project 2025. Yeah. Get out of here with that mess. I mean, this is just...
This might be a stretch, but making stuff up, isn't that their whole identity, is making stuff up?
I mean...
But you have to understand, Fluffy. according to their belief system, they believe it's okay.
Well, I believe you can fit 2 raccoons in a human's asshole. Doesn't mean it's okay.
I've seen it happen.
Right. Doesn't mean it's okay. I mean, the poor raccoon.
Yeah. Your poor asshole.
No. The guy was already, he enjoyed it. We paid him for it. No big deal. You can find that on my Twitter profile. No, you can't.
No. That's where I found it. No, I'm just kidding. All right, let's get on to our last story before we get in trouble here.
Wow, that just completely 90-degree went off the rail.
Oh, I know.
We can
But
go off the
this is
rails.
from CBS News. FBI investigating suspicious letters containing unknown substance sent to the state election officials.
FBI investigates CIA. Next subject.
Here, moving on. It's like, why would they send packages to themselves? Like, this makes absolutely no sense. The FBI and U.S. Postal Inspection Service investigating a series of suspicious letters, some of which contain or known as substance sent to election officials nationwide. The agencies confirmed Tuesday. The Associated Press reported powder-containing packages were sent to secretaries of state and state election officials offices in Iowa, Kansas, Nebraska, Oklahoma, Tennessee, and Wyoming, citing official in those states. The secretaries of the state for Colorado, Connecticut, and Indiana, because you couldn't leave them out, also reported Tuesday similar envelopes with either intercepted or received. Quote, the FBI and U.S. Postal Inspection Service are investigating a series of suspicious mailings sent to election officials in several states. Some of the letters contained an unknown substance, and we are working closely with our law enforcement official partners to respond to each incident safety collected to the letters. No, you're not. Go ahead.
I can speak on this because I might have some insider information because I live in Indiana and I may or may not have some kind of inkling of insider information. I will kind of remain somewhat silent, but just
go on. Just a little bit.
So the post office has actually decreed a thing statewide saying that there has been an incident, and we received this early on. I believe it was yesterday, saying if there's any sort of hazardous stuff, we are to make it with the utmost response, and postal inspectors are to be called almost immediately. The post office takes these things very seriously because of how non-biased they try to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I will actually say, if one of the things for the insider stuff is they don't hesitate to, if they got information, they will kick doors in to find you if you're doing this. They don't mess around. It's a 10-year charge for anyone who does this, and they can catch them minimum. Don't mess with the post office ever. That is not a good idea. That is like being an enemy nation and attacking the U.S. boats. Don't touch our boats. We will hurt you. Just don't. It is stupid. It's not worth it. You will get hurt.
Well, I mean, we should probably call this episode Anthrax and Pagers Turning Back the Clock. But anyways.
Bringing back the classics. Let's go.
Yeah, but I mean, this is like old school warfare that's going on right now. Like seriously, if you really think about what's going on over in Lebanon and stuff that's going on here, and now people's feelings are getting hurt, and now they want to, use executive authority to come after you. It's just.
I'm actually kind of glad I'm here because I work for the post office, so I know. And
well, there you go.
And they don't mess around when it comes to this stuff. So for me to see the post office in the news at this level is just, oh boy, we've got a lot of service talks coming up because of how much we've got to look forward to now. Anything suspicious, we have to call it in immediately. This is priority one. We don't mess around kind of stuff because one, the carriers, if they get hurt, the post office is shilling cash. They will settle every time. They do not mess around when it comes to the safety of the carriers. And if you do this stuff, you're putting everyone who touches it in harm's way. Don't do it. Period. Do not do that. They will make Waco look like a night or like a children's story. Okay. I'm not kidding.
Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just here to deliver.
Right. Pretty much.
Don't bomb the messenger at this point.
Oh man, tell me about it. But yeah, it's only Wednesday, guys. Like, what is going on?
It's Wednesday, my dudes. Hump day.
Hump
It
day.
used to be Wednesday for me. Now it's Thursday. How's it going?
And for all of you iFenniers out there, it's Frog Wednesday. Happy Toad Wednesday.
Well, yeah. So, yeah, that's all we got today. I mean, these were probably the four major stories that we had. We typically try to come up with something, that flies under the radar. But I mean, this was there was just too much going on, and we had to get it out there to you folks. But any final thoughts, Treebeard?
Oh, me? Oh, fact. Putting my stuff. Please don't forget to follow us on Twitter. We're very close to 3K subs or followers, and it'd be great if we get there by the end of the day. Like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to share this video and post on all the other videos I've made, because I put a lot of. I'm the only one making content for right now in the background, and it takes a lot of time to make this stuff.
Like,
so
literally the only person.
And like it. Yeah,
It's
we
crazy,
are.
'cause I put out a lot of
If I
content.
fall, that's it.
Yeah, it's over. You guys
have
won't
no
see
idea
me
just how
anymore.
much whiskey it takes to get any of this stuff done.
Exactly. Fluffy, what do you got?
Corn dogs are meat Twinkies.
Speaking of Twinkies, or Twinkies,
What did I say? This?
We were not planning on bringing Fluffy on at all, and then it was like, hey, I was like, hey, do you want to go? I'm like, yeah, sure, I can show if you want. It's like, oh, sure, what's the harm?
You're welcome.
Exactly. And I'm AK, your favorite guy. I'm host of Roma Nation, also host here on Sunset Rants. I will have a donation button up soon. All right, it's coming. It's within like 24 hours. I will have it up. I know there's a lot of people out there. It's like, hey, I want to donate in. I want to get your show up and running, get it going. Listen,
Come on, scrub.
I know, right? I am slacking, with like 15
Drizzle.
to do at once.
Shut up and take my money.
Shut up and take it. Yes, we will have that donation tab very soon. You can also subscribe on my Discord, where you can get either platinum or diamond status. If you are a diamond member and we have a special guest on this show, what ends up happening is after our show is done, or either here or on Roman Nation, they will come over for a special AMA on our Discord, where you guys can come in and ask your questions. That is diamond status. But once again, we will have that fixed and ready for you. Outside of that, I'm AK, your favorite guy. Please have a good night, and we will see you on Friday at 8:30 Eastern.
And I'll be hosting
Standard
that
Time.
show.
Yes, and Fluffy, for some reason, I gave him the reins, and I probably won't have a show on Monday, but it's all good because he's one of my favorite guys.
Show up for FAFA Friday.
FAFO. It's called FAFO Fridays.
FAFO
We're going to have a
Fridays.
lot of fun. All right. Well, without further ado, thank you very much. Have a good night. Peace.
Good night, everyone.
Night, lads and ladies.